Hello, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name is Beth Ann. I think this might be my first car video, but other people do it, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. And it is not only a car video, it is a parking garage video, because I just parked at the airport. But I wanted to make a video now because I wanted to talk about two books. I am flying to visit a friend in Denver, and I want to give her these two books, but I would like to talk about them on BookTube before I give them away, because they were both very enjoyable books, although one more so than the other, which I will get into. So the two books are the Wisteria, let me hold this up. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels by India Holton. And apologies if this is mirrored and shows up backwards. I don't know how to change it on my phone, but beautiful cover. You get the idea. The second book I'm going to talk about is the very popular Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, or Yarros, which has had quite a moment on BookTube, as well as the sequel, which has been out for a little while now. So first I'm going to talk about the one I read more recently and enjoyed the most. This was an absolutely fantastic book. The Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. I just devoured it on a plane ride last weekend when I was coming home from LA. It's been a wild time. But anyway, the Wisteria Society of Lady Scoundrels. This is set in Victorian England. We follow main character Cecilia Basingthwaite, who is a young lady. She's 19. She's brought up to be very proper, very high-class Victorian lady, with the twist that she's a member of a pirate society, the Wisteria Society. Which is a society of lady pirates. One of the many extremely cool things about this book is that these are not pirates of the high seas. These are pirates who have a magic spell that allows them to levitate and fly their houses. So they're flying their grand estates and their fancy Mayfair townhomes, and they have the attics equipped with cannons that they use to fire at each other. So this book was just absolutely fantastic. We're following Cecilia, who is really, really ready to advance in the Wisteria Society out of kind of the junior league young lady aspect of it and become like a full-fledged society member. She has a little bit of something to prove, because it turns out, you find out through the book, that some of her personal connections, I won't give anything away, in her past are not desirable. So she is kind of trying to overcome those connections and the perception that other people might have of her as a result of those. So she kind of has a little bit of a chip on her shoulder, a little bit to prove. She's really kind of like the perfect young lady pirate in an effort to overcome all that. And since she's the main character in this book, the book is following her adventure. She has to kind of rise to the occasion and save the other members of the society who are kidnapped through nefarious means. So it's just a lovely adventure book with an absolutely ridiculous premise that just totally works. It's also a romance, because the book opens with a mysterious assassin appearing on Cecilia's doorstep. And she's really proud of that, because it's kind of a mark of success as a lady pirate when you are marked for assassination. So it's kind of a big step for her. And the assassin is the ever-dashing Ned Lightbourne. Yeah, Ned Lightbourne. You know, it's going to be a good book if the main male character is named Ned. Maybe that's just me being totally biased because of Game of Thrones, but loved that. So his name is Ned. Probably. He's got a lot of names because it turns out he is not what he seems. So he plays a major role in the unfolding of the plot. And because it is, you know, part romance, part lady pirate adventure, you know, there's going to be some will they, won't they, some tension between her and Ned. It can get pretty smutty compared to what I would say your typical Victorian book about ladies, but it is a lady pirate book. So that explains that. Anyway, this was just absolutely delightful. It was hilarious, like pretty much laugh out loud, which is a little awkward on an airplane. Definitely got me laughing. So just 100% loved this book. Totally recommend it for anybody to whom that sounds interesting. Okay, so now let's move on to Fourth Wing. Also had a romantic element, also a fantastical element. I guess Wisteria Society, not a fantasy book, but it did have this one magic spell in it. Fourth Wing is fantasy, but it would definitely be either romantasy or fantasy romance, whatever those labels mean for folks who care about it, probably have a lot of opinions. But anyway, it's in that realm. There's dragons. It's a school for young dragon riders. The military in this world is very heavily reliant on dragon riders as a major part of their military. So we follow a young girl, Violet, who is very excited to be entering military school. She originally wasn't supposed to go to military school to be a dragon rider. She was going to be a scribe. So she's very smart, very nerdy, very bookish. So I really liked that. But her family is kind of forcing her to go be a dragon rider. And she's really determined to prove herself. There is disability representation because she has a connective tissue disorder, if I'm remembering correctly, which I think is very strongly based on Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And I might be misremembering that name. So that's a nice aspect that we see our heroine overcoming and succeeding despite a physical limitation that means that she has to work harder than her peers and she has more to prove. So she's a wonderful character, very determined, like I said, smart, bookish person. So I really liked all of that. The book is very predictable. So it is a book about maybe a magic school is not quite right because it's not like Violet is doing magic, but it has, that vibe, right? It's like a lot of young people put into this fantastical setting. They're in a school. The school is brutal in a lot of ways. There's dragons, of course the dragon riders have to kind of prove themselves to their dragons. The dragons select them pretty predictably. That ends up being kind of a special process. Some special aspects to it for our main character, Violet. The romance aspect of it is pretty predictable. The love interest is like the bad boy who's the last person on the planet that she should fall for. She's the last person on the planet that he should fall for because there's bad blood between their families due to the military conflicts in this fantasy world. So it was very predictable, which was like a little bit of a turnoff, but I really did think the writing was incredible and I just had a lot of fun with this book. It was fun, enjoyable. I was like on the edge of my seat a lot. So definitely the kind of book that's like, it's not a 5-star read for me because the setting and everything was cool and creative, but the like big plot points, you could see them all coming, So, yeah, so enjoyable, but not kind of like a 5-star book for me, not a blow me away, but definitely one I'm happy to pass on to a friend. And I do plan to pick up the sequel at some point. I just haven't yet, but I will be continuing with this series. So those are the 2 books I wanted to talk about. Let's see if I can hold them up. Haha, with one hand. Yay. 2 books that were very fun reads. For different reasons that I will be passing on. So anyway, I just wanted to hop on and check in and talk about these books before I give them away. I hope anyone who watches this that you're having a good time with whatever you're reading, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks. Bye.